some of the people that the U.S. government has deported in the past year have ended up dead in days or weeks after being deported.
It's almost like the foreigners, particularly the Latino community, the foreigners in general, are an easy target. They have no voice. Who's going to shout back? What kind of civil rights do they have where they're going to march in protest? Well, occasionally they do, but they're putting themselves out there to be vulnerable. The law got harsher and harsher and harsher until 1996, when Congress said, okay, if you're here illegally and then you leave, you're going to be barred for 10 years to come back. You can't come back, no matter what, for 10 years. If you're here illegally and you leave, bar, 10 years.
Those who have or are being deported are the ones that are most likely to have no attorney, no understanding of the law and the practices of immigration court, and now could be vulnerable to attack and murder back in Central America.
These basically terrifying raids that were occurring. And the government is very deceptive. They need a warrant to enter your home. So they resort to all kinds of trickery to do this. So one example that came up that they were conventionally doing is they would we would knock on the door and they would say, we're looking for, and it would be a person who's not even there. They knew wasn't there. And they'd say, well, that person's not here, you know. Well, can we come in and just check because we think there's a problem with this other person? Now that was a lie. They've now gotten entry, but in fact they were looking for the people who they knew were there.
In 2013, the Obama administration had removed nearly 2 million immigrants, the highest number under any president. Among them were families and parents where the children were left behind.
Pursuing the American dream, or defining oneself as American, may not always entail embracing Americanness or being exclusively American, but rather continuing to celebrate your own heritage, or maybe not becoming a citizen, like continuing just to be a permanent resident, to want to be able to maintain your own citizenship. Because to become an American, to naturalize to be an American, well, by the oath, requires you to no longer consider yourself a citizen of any other country.
There are many immigrants, whether illegal or have found a way to be resident through the DREAM Act, that are students and are just looking to get a good career, get into a good education, and somehow find their American dream.